What's up everybody? Welcome to a new video. And in this video we are going to start a video series. And in a video series that I'm going to call Once and for All. During the new exportation countries we have had some new foundings in some of the new products that we made, especially the upgrade from Primus Original to Primus 2.0. And today in this video I'm going to clarify everything about this product, how to use it, when to use it, with of course some video footage to show how well it works on how many different kinds of surfaces. But first, the most important thing I think is to understand what Primus actually is. Primus is a pre-wash, meaning a pre-wash in the form of shampoo, detergent, putting onto the surface, let it dwell for some time and then use the kinetic energy in the form of water to rinse off any dirt and soap together. Now, in a couple of years, not so much a couple of years, a while ago, let's say a while ago, people were tend to be afraid for the word alkaline. Alkaline was then, of course, linked to causticity, although these things are two different things to be taken apart. How to measure alkaline and how to measure causticity goes through different tests. But the main thing was that in the early days, people were buying soaps in the name of citrus. And citrus gave you the idea that it's probably acidic based or something in the range of, I don't know what, but I will put a couple of MSDSs from a couple of citrus products around the world where you can see right now and clearly that these products are not pH neutral, yet they were alkaline. This was something in the early days to get people to use these products without knowing actually that they were alkaline. And with alkaline comes again that word causticity. So when we launched Primus, we were the first to openly start calling it alkaline again. That had some difficulties in convincing people, but to help us convince the people of a safety product in the name of Primus, we set it to the test of the VDA, an independent body from Germany, from the main car manufacturers, to test the capabilities or the compatibility between their surfaces, substrates on their cars versus the lubricants, the oils, the car wash tunnels and the chemicals used to wash these cars. Now, to understand what caustic is, I'm going to show you a small clip from one of our videos from the early days where our chemist is going to explain us everything we need to know about what pH actually is and how that works into a solution.
What is pH?
pH is a scale used to measure how acid or alkaline a water solution is. Pure water has a pH value of 7, exactly in the middle of the scale. Below, from 7 to 1, we identify acid solutions, while above, from 7 to 14, we identify alkaline solutions. And in those two chemicals are contained what are called ions. And ions determine the pH value.
Oh, you said that's less than...
Tiny droplet. There.
Whoa!
And you see the pH spikes up.
There was one drop.
My point, Reggie, is if we measure pH of the pure solution of sodium hydroxide, if you see the pure sodium hydroxide has a pH of almost 13, okay? So if I put back my electrode in solution, we can see the pH of the water solution containing what about 10-15 drops of pure sodium hydroxide has even a higher level of pH. To measure pH of Primus, you just put the washed electrode here in the solution. The other side. So, what do you see, Reggie?
Like a completely unaffected piece of aluminum against something that is it going to light on fire or?
Exactly.
So the main reason Primus was designed to give a strong, powerful yet 100% safe product for the maintenance of protection. And then protection in the form of anything nano, from a nano wax to a nano sealant to a nano quick detailer to a ceramic coating. That was the biggest challenge. Finding a product that can do all these things without diminishing. Yet the potential of this product lies even further. And for that, I'm going to show you my favorite dilution ratios and the best dilution ratios for which approach. An approach for a protected car or approach for a car that you want to prepare for polishing. But the main characteristic for Primus is for the maintenance of anything in protection range. The main dispersion methods for Primus 2.0. We have the foam gun. On the bottle it suggests us a dilution of 1 to 5 very dirty winter and 1 to 10 summer. And I'm going to tell you that you always use 1 to 10 and nothing more. Why not more? Because this is a waste of time and a waste of money. I would say we have many different ways to disperse this product, and the foam is very nice, yes, has very good cleaning power, but you can increase the effectivity of this product a lot by combining two things. When you look at a foam gun, there is a dilution inside of the foam bottle, there is product being picked up and there's water running through the nozzle. So this is an exponential dilution. I know for a fact that this one, when I close the hose completely and I close this fully and I put pure product inside, I know that from the end coming out is 1 to 20. That means that if I dilute something that is 1 to 20 in its purest form to 1 to 1, I go to 1 to 40. 1 to 2 meaning 1 to 60, 1 to 4, 5, 6 and so on. But when you reach a dilution of over 1 to 100 with Primus, you tend to slowly remove the alkaline power and go to what we would call an emollient power in the form of a softening effect. Not so much that degreasing effect that we really want during a pre-wash. So when you use a foam gun, please don't go over 1 to 10. Use anything in the form of a sprayer to make a higher concentration. 1 to 10 to 1 to 20, 50, 40, 60, 80, even with a hand foamer and or a sprayer. Now how that comes into effect, I have generated a fantastic situation from a 1,000-kilometer drive with my own car where we're going to see the full potential of Primus, because I forget almost the newest one, aka the bucket wash. 1 to 100 in a bucket wash, make 5 liters, 1 cap per liter. Sorry, I don't know the dilution ratio for gallons because it's very confusing, my God. For the bucket, I alkaline wash that I'm also going to show you a perfect example what the difference is between an alkaline wash and not doing an alkaline wash. But what is bigger secret about Primus? Everybody asks me, you don't have a wheel cleaner in Labocosmetica? Yes, we do. Let me show you.
That dirty wheel. The dilution ratio for the wheels from 1 to 5 and up. Any type of contamination you find, or if you want to add some mechanical action, you decrease the dilution, for example, to 1 to 10. But if you want to do it touchless, 1 to 5 is the highest dilution we are going to use for the wheels. My wheels have the last little bit of protection from beneficia, and for the choice of this nozzle, I chose the wrong nozzle. As I can clearly see immediately, is that it's running too fast from the steel parts, or the metal parts from the rims, and not so much the sticking what it does on the tire, where you see clearly that on the tire wall it sticks a lot better. Yeah, you see my choice of foam nozzle was not the right one for this one. Now speeding this process up by 8. Okay, you can see where the soap is going, and only for demonstrational purposes only, I'm now letting the product dry almost completely before rinsing off. Proving again that this product is 100% safe and has no limitations for any surface or substrate that you can find in the wheel area. The higher the concentration of chemicals you use, the more and thorough rinsing you will do. Make sure that all those surfactants are gone. Primus has the tendency to release those surfactants very easily, but till my secret tip, you will keep rinsing. And as you can see, the Nero is still alive by touching, and because we in Europe like to do substrate-based detailing, where we are actually interested if the surface doesn't look clean, but is actually clean. As we can see here, there's a very light little bit of traffic film left, meaning that I still have to follow up with some mechanical action. Immediately moving through my favorite dilution, 1 to 50 in the hand foamer, just to show you the capabilities of a protected car, because my car is protected with a ceramic coating. That means my decreasing of chemicals becomes more and more effective. 1 to 50 is my favorite dilution to start with. And this soaking of the pre-wash on the surface will maximize the dwelling time. As you can see, it's a very thin layer of foam. I don't need much more because all the other foam is going to become too heavy and drop down. and speeding the process up to 8 speed, so you can see how well the foam sticks in that area. Now we're going to rinse off, and after the rinsing we will probably see some return of some beading or sheeting in that case, and in this case I know for sure that there will still be some contamination left. What is absolutely necessary inside of a traffic film wash, but this is that part why I'm going to use the bucket. I'm going to give you the before and after the pre-wash with a dilution of only 1:50 and a maximized dwelling time, of course, because time, dilution, temperature and mechanics go hand in hand. Again, for the tissue test, I'll take the part that is not exposed to what is happening behind the wheels, that little curved area right here. And again, it looks clean, but is it really clean? And as we can see, we see a very light little bit of traffic film left. It is very light, but this is not the area that's been affected the most. It's more that area on the door, what's more flat, that is getting hit by everything that's being thrown off by the wheel, a mixture of chemicals, brake fluid, fuels, water, and everything. This is what kills ceramic coatings, the slashing of water and sand to the side of the car. That's the part where it dies first. And here we have a lot more visible traffic film. Now I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to use that 1:50 in a pre-spray to spray the most affected parts, of the most dirty parts, let's say the most dirty parts. And from that point on, this is what then is called the pre-soak, 1:50. And I'm going to spray all the parts from the back, the side, the front, all the parts that seem more dirty than the top of the car. Finishing then up with a 1:10, like I said, the maximum dilution I use in a foam gun, 1:10 in foam on top of the car. And here again, I try to focus on getting a thin layer of foam on that has maximum dwelling time and then rinse off. Now here on the roof I have a different protection, and the left side for you watching is something that we made versus can coat on the right side. And I'm doing what would we call a duration test, but mostly I'm into the scratch resistance. So in the future I will show you exactly how well scratch resistant these products really are based on the washing and the mileage I did. Now again, I'm spending a thorough amount of time on probably rinsing off properly, not probably, properly. That's almost the wrong word. Now, so far so good. You already knew this, and this is what is going to change. Either with a high traffic film you use alkaline Primus in the bucket wash 1:100, or you change to Semper. That is maybe a little bit contradicting, but that is also a way to remove that traffic film. Now, as you saw with the tissue test, is that there still is something left, and that is that traffic film. Could also be static dirt linking to the surface through magnetism, magnetism, I would also say, linking to the surface. And this is the between step, because we need to use the full potential of Primus to its full extent before we need to know if we are going to use Purifica. Now I'm going only to do the right front door with the alkaline wash. And then I'm not going to do the right back door with an alkaline wash. And then let's see the difference in beading and sheeting alone by using a contact wash before we even think about using Purifica. You see the downside, sheeting at most. And when we move to the passenger door, we see beading full to extent, making a follow-up with Purifica absolutely unnecessary. This is how the old 3pH from 1 to 3 Primus Purifica Semper changed into either or Primus Semper, Primus Purifica, or Primus Semper or Purifica Semper. The combination is now endless. Now it becomes more interesting to know if there is the necessity to follow up with a product like Purifica. Because in this case, driving this ceramic coating combination for 8,000 kilometers still makes any Purifica wash obsolete. It does not need topping products. It needs nothing. The ceramic coating is doing it all by itself. Beautiful to see. I love this so much. I'm going to fast forward this because this is the entire sequence I'm doing, following up the entire car with the 1 to 100 bucket wash of Primus. Removing that traffic film, if any. On the roof you will probably have a lot less traffic film than on the side of the car. But like I said, we are focusing on the substrate. So we make sure that everything we did in the capabilities of a product like Primus has been used to its full extent before we are even going to follow up with a specific decontamination shampoo like Purifica. Because if it's not necessary, it's not necessary. Especially when these upgrades now give you a wider variety of approaches, getting you faster and easier to the result that you desire, and keeping your ceramic coating alive longer before you start adding any topping products. Topping products should only be added when it's absolutely necessary. On a part where the beading and sheeting is failing, on the back, on the side, right behind the wheels, after a certain amount of time you will see that the ceramic coating will die first on those areas. And that is the part where you add the Purifica or the topping product to help the ceramic coating that's failing in a certain part, making sure that it gets to its maximum potential in beading, and therefore increasing that what we would like to call self-cleaning effect.
Everything great and all, Reggie, but that your car is protected, we already know, and that it's a great ceramic coating. We also know we would like to see the performance on an unprotected car. Now, for that, I made a different situation where we're using a barn find, so to speak. A rally car that's been used for a long time, but that will definitely show what the performance is of this product with the same approach, only a different type of dilution. Let's check it out.
Oh, this car has been standing in the barn for a long time. In this case, I'm using a 1 to 20 dilution. For the left side, I'm using a spray. For the right side, I'm using the exact same dilution, but then in foam. Both have the same detergency power, both have the same capabilities of removing the dirt, but you can imagine that the foam is more eligible to use in summer, in warmer temperatures, because that has more dwelling time. For what the spray is doing is actually cutting like a knife, immediately removing that dirt, giving you more faster working. However, with faster working, we also have the capabilities to tend to remove and dry the product too fast before it gets to its maximum potential. Tissue test also here. Most important, it looks clean, but is it actually clean? And even on a car that has been washed for a very long time, sure, I will admit it was probably sacrificial dirt lying on the surface, dust accumulated over time, so not so much adhered and stick to the surface at a very high level. And then if you want to, like I'm doing right here, I'm going to use the rest of that 1 to 20 dilution to pre-wash the entire car. I have the ultimate conditions. It's very nice and dry outside. There's no direct sunlight. The surface is not heating up. I'm treating partially wrap, partially sticker, partially paint. So I've got many different substrates from chrome, plastic, wrap, paints, and stickers, if you can call them stickers. But even in these dilutions, in these working areas, there is no issue. You can work with a sane and safe heart, knowing that everything is going to be okay after you rinse off. No extra work added or no extra physical labor need to be added to get this car clean. A perfect example of what the dirt release looks like with the use of a spray. And I have to be honest, I tend to use the spray a lot. Just to save some dilution ratios, just to save some time, and especially save some effort. And in this case, this car is then prepared for anything else. I might even use this car in the future to do some Satino videos, because that is something I've never done a video about. But for the preparation of polishing, you could also now follow up with a 1 to 100 bucket dilution and then make sure that all the grease and dirt is gone, and you can start your operation or follow up with Purifica. And that is your choice, and that is up to you.
That was the full conclusion of Primus 2.0 once and for all. I hope I have answered any questions, any doubts, anything that you can think of why not to use this product. Still one of my favorites, if not one of the favorites. Thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you next time with the following product series of Labocosmetica's Once and For All.